Good morning. Just woke up feeling good. First thing I do in the morning always is get outside and look at the sun first thing in the morning. It's the most important thing to reset your circadian rhythm, and just overall it's the best for your mental health. And there's bees. First thing I like to do every single morning is get outside, get onto the grass and shake and do some movement. The reason I do this is because when you wake up, you have a lot of stagnant energy. Everything is stiff. I come outside and just shake around and get my energy moving in my body. I found this to be more effective than traditional meditation as well. And then from that point, getting ready for an amazing day, I'm gonna go inside and do a breath work. And then from that point, cold shower every single morning, get it out of the way, just do it, raise the dopamine, and then get into some work. Now I'm awake. You see, in the morning, this is like a legit morning routine. So, YouTubers will wake up and they're like, hey guys, how's it going? For me, I like to keep it really chill in the morning. But after I do movement, mindfulness, and get in the cold shower, now I'm awake. So, yeah. And then from here, I like to get some sort of espresso in. I particularly am a fan of the Italian way of making espresso. So we're using a mocha pot, or I guess a stovetop espresso maker. If you're someone that uses those like little plastic pods, then just know I'm judging you. So as that espresso is being made on the stove there, I like to do a thing with my water where it's basically a morning blessing. And if you guys don't do this, I'd recommend you start doing this. So when water is crashing in a stream, when it's like flowing down a lake, it's being oxygenated. The molecular structure of the water is actually changing because it's moving. So when you drink water, it's important that we get it to move so that the molecular structure can be enlivened again. And then here are some of the supplements that I use alongside this water blessing. So I use a thing called methylene blue, which activates the mitochondria. I use a amino acid, L-glutamine, which is really good for the gut. L-theanine, which is what I will use in conjunction with the caffeine to give me more of a steady, energized feeling. And then I use vitamin D3. And in the morning, that is pretty much everything that I do for the first hour of the day. As my coffee is brewing, I like to get some beef tallow just to moisturize the face. It's the only thing I use on my face is beef tallow. And then I use a gua sha to smooth out the muscles in the face. And then another important part of my day is the espresso. So I like to use bulletproof, as you guys probably know, bulletproof espresso. And I like to add a little bit of cinnamon in there just to liven it up, make it taste like a little bit nicer, because it is just straight black coffee, because I do fast for the first 5 hours of the day. This is the desk setup. I think it's really important to cultivate a nice desk setup, especially if you want to go down the route of like online entrepreneurship. It's really important to have a vision board that you look at every day, that you can reference to and see things out. So yeah, I'll get into 2 hours of writing and then training. So here is the setup for now for YouTube. It's really, really basic. I basically have this this light that I bought off of Amazon Jungle. I sit there, bit of a new setup. I kind of want your feedback on the setup. But yeah, this is the house I live in. This is the cabin. I know you guys were all very curious about the living situation I'm in. It's a little bit dirty right now, but yes, I grew up in this house. I grew up in this living situation, and it's been something that has very much helped me in my journey. One thing I do want to speak about is also the downsides of living in the middle of a rainforest. The downsides of living in an Australian rainforest, first of all. So we'll get to that, but now normally midday, sun is out. I'm gonna go work out and do some calisthenics, so yeah. First meal before I break my fast and before I work out is normally kind of switching it up nowadays. Greek yogurt, raw berries, some organic banana, some raw honey, and some kefir and MCT oil. This is honestly OP. This meal is so good. One thing that I very much believe in lately is using resistance bands and using more functional forms of fitness, because as someone that has done over 10 years of weightlifting, and while it might not look like it, 10 years of training, 10 years of weights really does a number on your body. So just exploring more like functional, more mobility to feel better in my body rather than be as big as possible, I think is my goal for the next few months to, in the winter time here in Australia, going into the winter time, wanting to just feel better in my body rather than purely a bodybuilder. Something that I think is very beneficial if you're similar to me in that you don't like bodybuilding or you just don't like the traditional ways of weightlifting, then get some resistance bands and start to use them in your training routine. I think is really beneficial. Now finished my workout, pretty simple, but yeah, I believe that the most amount of progress that you will see, and I have seen in my life, is just from literally 40 minutes, 3 times a week. That's it, body weight, that's it. Any more, and I've found that it's a net negative. The gym and working out is actually it makes my life worse. So that's what I found for myself, and that way I have more time to enjoy the day, and gonna go for a walk now. Now you may be wondering, what are the purposes of going on a walk with multiple carrots in hand? And one of the big reasons as to why I walk for more than 2 hours every day now is, one, not just to manage stress, but it allows me to really reflect on how fake and how gay the world is now. You see, as a masculine man, living in this world can be quite tough if you're a man similar to me. And so it's good to reflect on, why is it fake and gay? Why are things fucked? But also, what can you do to make it better? How can you cultivate the awareness within yourself to make your reality more prosperous, more abundant for yourself, instead of focusing on how fake and gay everything is? So yeah. Back from my walk. So just as we woke up, same thing for when we're about to go to sleep. Sun gazing is something I've been doing for the past couple of years. I find it to be a very spiritual time in my day, and just relaxes me and also gets my body knowing that it's time to wind down for the day. It's time to relax and to be present. So, sun gazing, try it. Also just got back from the grocery store. We have some organic beef, always grass-fed, always organic, making sure that you get the highest quality ingredients when you go out to buy food. So I got some organic, handmade, homemade sourdough, and I'm gonna make sweet potato and beef mince, which, if the OGs know, a few months ago, my first video that popped off was how I eat for high testosterone, and as you can see, I'm still eating the exact same way as I mentioned in that video. Something I will mention with bread is when you buy bread, make sure that it's literally only got like 5 ingredients. That's the most important thing. You can see here, unbleached white flour, sea salt, yeast, and water. That's literally all you need to make bread. If you're buying bread that has all this shit in it, then honestly, your health is going to suffer, your mental focus is going to suffer, and you're probably going to turn a little bit gay. So also got some really thick molasses type honey as well. This is the second meal of the day and the final meal. It's basically 6 pasture-raised eggs, some sweet potato, that's a little bit burnt, some rissoles, organic, some sauerkraut, and some really, really amazing beef relish. It's like a organic tomato chutney kind of relish. This is what will get you shredded and make you feel amazing. Hallelujah. Pray to the gods. And that is pretty much my whole day. I'll finish off my day by doing 10 to 15 minutes of stretching and breathing and yoga. Pretty much go to bed after a nice hot shower. I just want to say the one thing before I leave this day to close it out, to properly finish it off. And that one thing is, every time that I make a decision to do something that I know is good for me, I'm reinforcing the identity of the person I want to become. And it's as simple as making the decisions that reinforce a new identity for me. For yourself, if you've seen everything and you've maybe been inspired from this video, I want you to just take away that, to get to where I have been now, it's taken years. So many years of just fucking around, doing whatever my monkey lizard brain wants me to do, whether it's the high dopamine, high stimulation stuff. So I want to say that every time that you have a decision to either do the bad habit or do the good habit, just ask yourself, what is the decision that's going to reinforce the identity that I want to step into more? And it is always the one that delays gratification. Always. Thank you for watching. If you did like it and you want to see more, go follow me on my Instagram. I post a lot more day-to-day stuff just like this one. Consider hitting subscribe on this YouTube channel as well, and I will see you very shortly. Bless.